Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again is a little under the weather. Well, I'm going to say which weather. Juggling Jay. Keep it down.
Yes.
Jay, very interesting weekend of sports. Obviously, the NACAC team done extremely well over in Trinidad. Stephen Dickinson winning his 20th and 5th straight Edward Cross long distance race. We have the Youth Red Bull America's Cup underway today. And we're going to review that America's Cup weekend. But first, let's get a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, over the weekend, we had 5 youngsters compete in the NACAC Age Group Championships. This is a new track and field event designed by the region to sort of see where each country's age group athletes are. And Bermuda come back with several medals and several records. Because this is the first event, anyone that won has set a new record. So Selah Tuzo is the record holder for the 13-14 girls, 1,000 meters. And Sakasia Parsons is the 13-14 girls shot put record holder.
Yeah, once again, very proud of them. I mean, these lot are young. You just mentioned 13, 14. These lot are young. But they stood up. They stood up and need to be counted on. And, you know, to come away with good results like that. And it's always good to know, we talk about it in other sports when we see youngsters. But it's always good to just see where you are against the region. You know, because you can think that you're good here or great here, but then you're just so when you look around the region.
It's eye-opening.
But when you look like you can also compete and be on their terms, all of a sudden it also even gives you more adrenaline and more initiative and more positive thinking to go further, to say, you know what, I could be the best in the region. So, and I think that's what all coaches try to instill in the athletes, but sometimes that belief. A lot of people say 98% of sports is actually mind.
Yes,
the other 2% is physical.
Yep.
So this is where these competitions, and I'm glad that this competition came about, because it helps to give not only coaches but also our athletics association a little assessment to see where our athletes are.
Well, the team returned at the LF Wade International Airport last evening, and I was there to greet them and get words from each of the athletes plus their coach. Well, welcome back. Obviously a very successful first NACAC Age Group Championships. The overall performance, how would you evaluate what these athletes were able to accomplish?
I would actually say it was an excellent performance. When we left, we weren't sure exactly what the competition would be like, but we put the work in. The kids listened well, they executed, and we got some success.
Yeah. Going into events, what were some of the things you as coaches were telling these youngsters to expect looking at other competition?
Well, basically, we've competed against some of these kids before at the CUT games, so they were familiar with the kids and some of the performances as well. And we just told them to do what they know they're supposed to do, what you did in training, and hope for the best.
All right, Sakasia?
Hi. This is the news.
Obviously, you'll be very pleased with your performance, but what's some of the things that you learned during this meet that you will take back and try to do to accomplish next time around?
I learned that definitely practice makes perfect, and a lot more practice with this stuff, I'd be, I guess, a bit better, and yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your record-breaking performance in the shot put.
Thank you.
Did you surprise yourself?
Yes.
What was one of the events you was most worried about?
2000. Definitely 2000.
Have you ever run around the track that many times before?
Never in my life.
Okay.
No. Never. I'm finished.
All right, well, congratulations. Selah,
Thank you.
congratulations on your record-breaking performance in the 1,000 meters. But obviously, I know what your biggest concern was jumping over the hurdles.
It was the high jump. It was the high jump.
The look on your face in practice things, so you were fearful of the high jump. Okay, but overall, your performance, what did you think about how you managed to come out?
Given the fact that I missed a couple trainings like during the week because I was sick, I actually felt quite comfortable going out there, and I did better than I expected.
Now, you're not been well, so were you concerned about that 1,000 meter race?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I wasn't really worried about it because it was the last race.
Right.
So I really it really didn't cross my mind until like day 2.
Oh, how many days were there?
No, it was 2, but like I wasn't thinking about it on the first day.
All right. Okay. Anaya? Perfect performance.
No.
No? So you expect to do better sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah?
I expected myself to do a little bit better than I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you think you need to work on?
My cricket ball, my long jump, and my long distance.
Okay. All right, so how do you plan to work on that?
Beg pardon?
How do you plan to work on that?
Keep on training and keep on working hard at it.
Yeah? All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just come, Nairobi?
Yeah.
Well, middle distance, no problem. What do you think you need to work on as far as being an all-round track athlete?
I think that my high jump as my running was good, but the thing I probably need to work on is my hurdles. My hurdles was horrendous. I think that if I would have had maybe a little bit more practice, I would have done better and maybe placed a little bit better as well.
Well, I watched you do it at the stadium, and I think you was overthinking it a lot. Do you find you're doing that?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, just let it flow. Just like you're running. Let it flow. All right, Sencho? Just come over. All right. Yeah? Evaluate your performance overall.
I think I done fairly decent, especially with the hurdles. So I was surprised myself.
Yeah?
And high jump and 1,200 meters too.
Okay. What about those sprints?
Sprinty styles was good, but the finishing.
All right,
Have to
well,
work on it.
congratulations. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Job well done. Also over the weekend, Olympian Tyrone Smith was in action in Germany. He was trying to get to the diamond meet, but that didn't materialize. So he unfortunately had to go to another meet. Finished second. Not his best performance again. He found the conditions kind of tough, cold, windy, raining. Saying his toes were numb and you know, all those type of things. So he's looking forward to competing in Bermuda. A little warm weather, hopefully. And he's hoping that, and he said he's feeling as if he can get that one big jump he's looking for that will kind of cap his year off, you know. So we look forward to seeing Tyrone July 1st at the National Sports Center. And we'll see what he can produce on the day.
I can't wait. I mean, he's still not at the 8-meter mark yet. We're hoping that he'll get there very shortly. But I think that competition on July 1st will be something to really watch out for, because if he's jumping this in some rough conditions, you know, you're going to expect him to shine a little bit more when he hits the home turf. Yeah. So it's going to be quite interesting, and I think all eyes will be on Tyrone Smith in the sandpit.
Yeah. Well, Jay, yesterday.
Yes.
In the town of St. George.
Yes.
Stephen Dickinson and Pat Young sailed to victory in the 2017 edition of the Edward Cross long distance race, claiming his 20th title overall as a skipper, because he has won it as a crew a few times, and his 5th straight. So many would say, and I'll say this, the only rare thing allowed in St. George is Kitty Hawk.
Well, I was gonna mention that to you the other day because I knew the boat was red.
Yeah.
And most St. George's people just don't even they disassociate themselves with the color red, especially this time of year.
Yes.
So red's a great color in St. George's. But no, go back to it. 20 years. For me, it's dedication.
Yes. Yeah.
The commitment, dedication that takes, number one, to get out there and apply. I mean, this sport here, it takes so much to get out there. And especially this class.
Yes.
A lot of the rigging and all that stuff that gets done, people behind the scenes. And then to go out and actually perform. And he's performed. He's had some battles.
Yes.
Right? He's had a couple of easy ones, but he's had some battles. But to go out there and on that day, everybody has a chance. It's just how you take advantage of the Mother Nature.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he took full control of it yesterday, right at the start. Got a good jump, trailed a little bit, decided to go inshore. Many of the boats stayed in the middle. Rudy Bailey and Liam Perry went way north. And Stevie got a lift off the island that saw him breeze past the field, take full control of the race, had things his own way, getting around Fort St. Catherine, which was going to be a challenge because of the way the tide goes and the water meets each other, north shore to sort of south shore.
That little corner, man.
Yes. He got through that, and then it was just maneuvering through the town cut. He managed to build enough momentum that got him halfway through and then just had to work the boat through. Once he came out on the other side into the town of St. George, he was able to skillfully get the boat through the finish line, and he took after congratulating his crew, he took a ceremonial dive. Well, Stephen, 20 times. 20 times.
5 in a row.
Obviously, this one here is really, really sweet. A lot of work had to be done going into it. But take us through, because you started off really fast, went inshore, got that long tack, and really took control of the race.
Yeah, well, I knew that the wind was going to the southeast, so I wanted to play the shore a bit, and those guys just kept going out. So as it filled in from the shore, I gained a lot of ground on them.
And the person standing next to you really helped you out a lot.
Pat done so much today. I'm telling you, I was exhausted half the time, man. I was like, he was just telling me, hang in, hang in.
Well, I know you got some excitement. I'll come and talk to you again on shore. But congratulations to both of you. Job well done.
Thank you very much, Faye.
Thank you.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Earlier today, Jay, the Bermuda team lined up on the start line as the Red Bull Youth America's Cup got underway. Fascinating day of sailing. It's going to be a challenge for them. And no matter how things materialize, they've gotten to a place where many wouldn't have given them a sense of an opportunity to be there. But when you get on the start line for preliminaries, everybody's at zero. So if you do your part, which they done, and they advance to the final. So we'll see how that all materializes. But your thoughts on Team Bermuda in the finals of the Youth Red Bull America's Cup?
Amazing. And I'll tell you why. 5 years ago, each individual would have never, ever, 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 ever dreamed to be in this position.
Right.
Let alone be sailing on this type of boat. Because that was not even a goal 5 years ago. To pull a team together, we went through, you saw the trials and the work and all the videos and stuff, and to see people who never sailed before to take interest because there's other things that they need to make these boats happen. And then they're competing with the world's best.
Yes.
Already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that normally happens when you get seasoned. Like you say, you apply your trade at home first, try to become the best at home, and then move on.
And throwing in the deep end.
Quickly. So they went from doggy paddle to let's fly. So no, it's quite amazing, and whatever they come I don't think. What was the expectations?
I'm not sure, but
compete.
Well, that was the start.
Yeah,
and see if they can make the finals.
Just compete, and they made the finals.
Yeah.
So, the first thing was just compete. Because we saw the rough time they had in the leading up to it.
Yes.
But we just want them to compete.
Yeah.
But to make it to the finals,
yeah. Well, let's get a look at today's racing on the Great Sound. The 2017 Youth Red Bull America's Cup final got underway on the Great Sound with the defending champions Team New Zealand, Sweden, Germany, Switzerland, France, Great Britain, Spain, and host Bermuda all taking to the waters. The grandstands were alive and rocking as the fairy tale start for Team Bermuda 2017 took the first race of the Red Bull Youth America's Cup on the Great Sound. Bermuda led from start to finish and held off a strong challenge from Land Rover BAR Academy, who finished second, followed by Spanish Impulse. Race 2 was won by Team France, with Land Rover BAR Academy finishing second and Team Tilt crossing the line third. Bermuda finished eighth. The third and final race of the day was won by Land Rover BAR Academy, with New Zealand Sailing Team finishing second and Artemis Youth Sailing finishing in third. Team Bermuda crossed the line fifth. Land Rover BAR are the overall leaders after day one with 28 points, while Team Tilt and Team France are in second, tied with 21 points. Bermuda come off the water after day one in fifth with 19 overall points. 4 races, 4 wins. Emirates Team New Zealand clearly showed their class on Saturday and Sunday on the Great Sound, much to the dismay of many who will be supporting Oracle Team USA for various reasons. But clearly, Emirates came in and done the business that they intended to do, and that was to erase their deficit, get a lead.
Yeah, it's we've talked about a couple of shows before, but the tactical side of it now. I mean, you can go either way on that day, but the technology side, I think the Emirates has been 3 up.
Yeah.
Or is it 5 up in the seats? Because even the Oracle's got a hybrid of, the cycling in there. But you can see when the conditions are, not as windy as we had a couple of days, that cycling power is just unbelievable.
And it's just walk away from them.
Yeah, and it's amazing to watch. It's also pretty to watch because they look like they just, following each other. Everybody's down aerodynamic, and I mean they've got it down to a T. And if you just look at just the aerodynamic side of it, compared to the two, you obviously, but man, as you're watching and you're hoping for something. You're hoping for a different result.
Well, sitting there, I was doing a pre-show with Ian Rollins, and he asked me my prediction on the first day, and I said, due to the light air, it'll be New Zealand 2. He asked me again the second day, Sunday, and he even wanted to place a wager on it and did so. But it was again light air. It was a little more of a breeze, but it was still light air. And New Zealand came through winning both races. He asked me later, why would I predict that? And I said, it's simple. They're going to power themselves. As long as it's not a chop, they're able to sit on the bike and ride. If there's a chop where they're going to be off balance, when you're off your feet, you tend to not be able to paddle as hard as you can. The grinders then get a little better because they're planted their feet and they're leaning over, and so just that alone allows them to be a little more better in the rougher conditions. In the calm conditions, New Zealand's ability to power that boat using that paddle power and the other technology, wing, foil, all that, that much superior right now.
And I wouldn't be naive to even think about that. This is probably going into the planning process when this location was announced. Right? They would have gotten written patterns and stats for the years, or you know, what's the average speed on this particular day and Hill 9. And going back for years, that you would understand some of these wind shifts or the lack of winds in this time of year. I mean, we're looking at the Great Sun now, and it's pretty still out there.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Pretty still. But I'm pretty sure this went into, you know, the backroom staff to say, okay, you know what, this is what we're going to be dealing with.
And to add a spanner into the wheel, we had a tropical depression announced just this morning. But that's going to play a part. We may not get the winds, but we might get a lot of pressure from it. That will help.
Now, but like you said, that will actually, well, from what statement we just made, that should be able to help Oracle.
Pressure, no. They need wind.
Okay, I'm trying. Jimmy, I'm trying, Jimmy.
Jimmy needs a toe.
I don't kick.
Actually, let's get a review of the 2 days of racing in the Great Sound.
So here we go, this is what everybody has been waiting for. Jimmy Spithill's Americans defending their crown against Peter Burling's New Zealanders. The match is on.
Oracle's very close to the start and even struggling to keep off of it.
Americans are away, but they have a penalty right at the outset. Emirates Team New Zealand, who are flying up on their foils and already reaching speeds of 30 knots plus.
They're using their legs on New Zealand, and Oracle's using their arms.
New Zealanders really capitalizing on that start line penalty, just stretching away.
They're coming in fast right now, really fast.
But other than a few hiccups, the New Zealanders have made a storming start to the America's Cup match, wiping out that 1 point advantage that the USA had. Both are across the line now.
Acceleration contest now. Who's up on their foils and who can accelerate the quickest?
So the Americans having to play catch up, and this was not really part of the game plan, or part of theirs anyway.
The Kiwis are doing whatever they want at will in those radical turns sometimes.
The way they throw those bows round. Peter Burling and Emirates Team New Zealand, what a start to their match. A blistering opening. 2 wins from 2.
That was really fun yachting out there. Felt like our boat was going really fast. Good news is we're only one back.
The speed of both of these boats, excellent. Jimmy Spithill this time is straight across the mark, no penalty. 40 knots of boat speed from the American team.
There they go, they're gonna jibe early and try to split and use their speed. Really a critical time in the race. Not a perfect jibe by Oracle Team USA. Watch for the wing wash of Emirates Team New Zealand. They win the first battle. If you ever want to be on board a foiling 50-foot multi-hull, here's your chance, everybody. Oracle is trying their hardest to try to create a bit of a situation on the race course.
700 meters, might as well be in the next country. Upwind, downwind, doesn't seem to make too much of a difference to them. And right now, the Kiwis are hammering the Americans. 4 races, 4 wins. They are cleaning up.
Now our team's really hungry to keep learning, keep moving forward, keep improving. So we know if we stand still, these guys will be catching us.
It's pretty obvious these guys are faster, and we need to make some serious changes. I think these next 5 days will be the most important 5 days of the campaign.
On Friday evening, Jay, the Bermuda School Sports Federation announced the Denton Hurdle Memorial Award winners. We got a chance to speak to 3 of those winners in Michael Pond, Nairobi Smith Mills, and Selah Tuzo, following the award ceremony at different locations, but got a chance to speak with them about how they felt about being awarded such a prestigious award for schools in Bermuda. Let's get those interviews. Well, Michael, first of all, congratulations winning the Denton Hurdle Memorial Award for the senior school girls. Obviously, you accomplished a lot over your years at Cedar Bridge. Take us through some of the things that you feel made you a standout for Cedar Bridge.
Well, first off, for the football, I play for both national teams. I play for the U20s, and right from S1, I play for the under-17s, straight up to U20s women's. And then for netball, I now play for the senior level, at the senior level. And I started with the U15s that went to the Jean-Pierre tournament. And then I just came back with the women's team that just came back from the US and Scotland.
Well, obviously, you're a well-rounded person and you love sports. What's one of the most favorite sports you do love?
I can't really choose because I'm really in between with netball and football right now. So it's kind of a conflict right there.
Now you have a new challenge in your life coming up once you leave Cedar Ridge off to college. What college are you going to?
Brookhaven Junior College in Texas.
Well, there's something new for you. You'll be far away from family, yes. But obviously you've had talks with coaches, and what's their expectation of you?
Well, the college that I'm going to is going to be a bit different from how I am with the National Academy. They want me to play in the midfield for them instead of in goal, but I will still get my weekly goalkeeper training since I'm the national team goalkeeper. Yeah.
So how difficult is that going to be? Because obviously you play under 16 football, PDL football, and you play in the midfield for the Devonshire Colts. Yeah. So that shouldn't be something new. But at the national level, you're Bermuda's #1 goalkeeper. So how does that work?
Well, I think it's kind of this. I feel that it will be the same as when I'm here. So I'll just be actually training as a goalkeeper and training as a midfielder at the same time. So when I come back, I haven't really lost too much of goalkeeping, but gained a little bit more better footwork.
Now, are you nervous about going to a new environment so far away from Bermuda? Most people go to school on the East Coast. You're going way on the other side.
Yes, I'm not really nervous. I'm a little bit nervous.
That's the honest thing. If you're nervous about something, and obviously you're a well-knit person with your mom, and your family is very well-knit. So how do you plan to adjust, or what have you been doing to make sure that you could adjust right away the minute you land on the ground?
Well, my mama's coming out for about 2 weeks with me at first to get me settled and everything, because I'm not staying on campus. So I think once she gets there, helps me settle in, and then leaves, I think I should be good. So I think that's pretty much.
All right, well, we look forward to making sure that you are covered in Bermuda. Good luck in Texas.
Thank you.
Well, Selah, you weren't in Bermuda, but congratulations on winning the Denton Herter Memorial Award for middle school. Quite an accomplishment for you.
Yes. Well, I won it in primary school, and I was glad to win it again. I didn't know. I just hope for the best.
Now, you've accomplished a lot in such a short space of time. You say you won it in primary school. You've now won it in middle school. But what are some of the outstanding things you've been able to do in a short career?
Well, I'd like to say that one of my biggest accomplishments is definitely qualifying for CRIFT at the age of 12. But winning the mid-24 race and all those other things are some other things that I would say that they're one of my best accomplishments.
I know other things, including other sports like netball and other things, come into play. Where do you get your energy from?
I don't even know. I can say I do a lot. I don't get much sleep, but I do have a lot of energy, and I don't know how.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nairobi, first of all, congratulations on winning the Denton Herter Memorial Award. But what's some of the things you've been able to accomplish that would have given you the nod, looking at it from a judge's standpoint?
Well, as most say, practice does make perfect. So I think that as well with my track, as me succeeding in my track, I think my cricket also has a part to play. So I think like me being good at both sports all around is what helped me. And then I think, so I would consider myself like a coach. I like to help youngsters with both sports. So I think that might have also helped me with the judges as well.
Now, we'll quickly turn our attention because you have now to turn that attention to the under-19 cricket tournament. So it's back to training with Coach Smith and looking forward to the July tournament. But what do you take from this event that you've just come from that you would take into that cricket about yourself that you want to make sure that you are well prepared for the task at hand?
Well, I'd say don't take players for granted, basically. Maybe they look weak, maybe they don't look strong, but you have to go out there and you have to do your best to try and, for my instance, take the wickets.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Earl, once again, this is where you have an award that really tells us what our kids are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Not just on the field, but also off the field. If you look at some of the resumes you hear, you just sit there and say, wow, where do you find the time, not only in the sporting realm, but also in the academics, because that does play a part in the winners. And with this award, Denton Hurd Awards, for folks who may still remember his legacy, was a former rugby player, but also loved his academics, and the family's done well to keep that legacy alive. But when you look at people like Michael Pons, I mean, she's played on every team, any sport.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, coach, where do we go now? But she's like, her mama, and in the day, well, especially her mama, she played any sport, very athletic family. You just told me Sailor Tuesday, and me, they just got off a plane.
Yeah, yeah.
And Michael just got off a plane a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, that's right.
Prior, so. But no, it's good to see that they're highlighting some of our elite athletes, and even though they're young, but they're elite for the age group, and also not just for the sporting side of it, but also for the academics.
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay with some young athletes. We have David Leader, Luke Sterling, and Trey Mallory competing in Trinidad in our ITU Under-18 Regional Championship. Jay, all I'm going to say is, what's wrong at Seabreeze Hole?
The weekend that was. Now that's going to be a question for everybody around Seabreeze Hole, because I don't have a clue. Coming into the season, between them and St. Davis, I mean, we've even heard all the members even say that. Probably be, and I mean, that's what. Can't seem to win down Seabreeze for some reason. No matter who it is. Bat first, bat second, Bill first, Bill last. 100 runs, 200 runs. Don't seem like they're getting the starts. And most teams, if you got to depend on your back end, a lot of teams are not deep, batting wise.
Right.
It puts a lot of strain, and then when you start 1, 2, 3 bad knocks in a row, then it starts psychological. We haven't really heard any runs from Terran Free. I know Trey Mander's left this year, but he is making runs. So you probably could use Trey. But you keep just getting to the point where you just start seeing Rodney Trott, who's coming at probably number 5, number 6.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to steady the innings. And once again, he keeps finding the team in trouble by the time he gets there. So they got some work to do because they have the quality. It's not like they don't have the quality there. I know Last year, they got a good start. The combination with Taryn Frey and Pierre Smith.
Yes.
Pierre Smith not started the season, just coming back from his illness.
Right.
But he's looking to get back in, Nick. We tease him all the time, But no, he's looking to get back, and I think it surprised us last year. The combination they had, and the great start they had.
Right.
And I think even a couple of games when he didn't play, Danico Hollisfield in the opener and actually played pretty good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So we talked about how much of a difference from a good start can permeate through the whole team.
Right.
And they're not getting it.
Yeah. Well, I know they've lost this season already. The amount of games they lost entirely in the league last season. So I think they lost once to St. David's and once to Rangers last year.
And you be honest, Earl, it might be even close. They lost more games this season than the last 2 seasons.
Yes. Yeah. Well, overall, yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
So they lost 2020 and they lost the first 2 league matches.
And well, they got 5 points, but that's being sorted out as well because there's some issues with the board and a few clubs that would have walked away last week Sunday when the rain would have made their matches unplayable, and they were given 5 points when 2 matches were played, and we'll use the case of St. David's. They managed to get 15 points. So you're already 10 points behind. Allegedly played the same amount of games, but there are rain dates in the schedule as we were told. So that's being sorted out.
But I also want to let's flip this story now. Somerset.
Yeah.
Losing the likes of Jacoby Robertson,
yes,
former captain, Chicon Ennis, captain, 2 very influential players, a couple other guys on the way side. But to go down to see Reserve and produce what they produced down there, with bat and ball, lead from the front with the ball, Greg Mabry, picking up 3-4 wickets, 3 wickets or so, and then the captain himself,
2 wickets, and then 106 not out.
And it wasn't just he was 106. It was 106.
It was 6 after 6.
Yeah, so it's looks good for a couple of captains right now, but no, but in saying that, it's nice to see that some guys are starting to get in that early form, and we got about 5-6 weeks of it. We got a little time, but it's nice to see that guys are making runs. And for Somerset, that gotta be. I'm pretty sure Coach Richardson is probably over the moon because I don't think nobody saw this coming this weekend.
I didn't think anybody saw Warwick beating Devonshire Rec coming.
So let's go to that.
Could you believe it?
Right, and I'll say yes. What Warwick has been over the last, let's go back a little while now.
Well, Lionel was coaching for 5 years.
Okay, so at least 5 years, right? A young team.
Yeah.
And what do we say about young teams?
They need time.
They need time. But on the day, if all the things, the wind's blowing the right direction, they got the right shoelaces in, the whole 9, anything is possible. Because talent, you see spurts of talent.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just trying to get them consistent. We talk about young. So for that to and if you look at it, yes, Devonshire Rec's probably on a team on the other spectrum of the age bracket.
Oh yes.
And what will you have with old players?
Yeah.
A lack of consistency.
Yeah.
On the day the body can react, and some days I tried.
Yeah.
So you could when you look at it like that, it's very possible. But then there was another upset.
Yeah, Somerset Bridge beating Flats. You can't say St. George's beating Willicots.
I'm saying Somerset Bridge. Come on now.
Somerset Bridge beating Flats.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that an upset. I tell you why. Somerset Bridge has been there. They're able to build teams out. They just haven't consistently been able to bat teams out of games.
And they
put it all together.
They put some runs on the board.
Yeah. And we're able to defend it.
Yeah. We haven't seen Somerset Bridge put those type of runs on the board for a minute.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. Usually, if they build a team out for 150, they're out for 100.
Yeah.
But
and if they bat first, they'll still get 150.
Yeah. They were on a good wicket. St. David's has proved to be a run-making wicket. It's up to the batsmen to apply themselves, put the time and effort in, and they'll get the reward. And that's what happened as a team. Somerset Bridge went back west with a bit.
Now, also, would have been an upset, but very close.
Western Star St. David's.
Western Star St. David's.
Yeah, that strip there, over 600 runs. Yeah, would have been over 600 runs produced on that strip. St. David's scoring 288 for 8. You would have bet, okay, this one is over.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, Arnold Mendes has some challenges that he's put on his players to work out the small things. I've seen them play, I think, 3 times this year, and just listening to him as he shouts out some instructions, it's like, I've given you a task to do. Fulfill that task. Don't worry about anything else. Just do what I've asked you to do. And Jake came up 24 runs short. So,
and I'll tell you, I mean, looking at the building stats for St. David's, everybody besides George came into some carnage. Came into some carnage.
Right.
Georgia Bryant, once again, you just keep saying that name.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's the already bunny because he's always good up for a competition. And they needed his 3 wickets, I believe, for 24 rounds or for 10 overs.
Yeah.
To get those type of figures
10,
on
20
a wicket that is, like it says, producing all these runs.
Yeah.
Well, Brian Hall.
Yeah. He's been one of their most consistent players with both bat and ball for the last 3 years. He stood out and stood strong for Western Stars. And he's coming to his own.
Yeah, you saw him being introduced into the national squad last year. And you could probably, how we said George probably about 2 years ago, starting to look like a real good all-rounder. Once upon a time, you just say he's either bat or ball.
Right.
But you're starting to see the two now actually play a role in a match.
I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was in a Western Stars team that needed a leader, and he stepped up. He put himself in a position to, I'll bowl when I have to, or I'll bat when I have to, and it's paid off for him. He's put extra time in at the wicket, in training. At the national level, he goes to extra training sessions for both batting and bowling. So he's reaping the rewards, and hopefully he achieves everything he wants to achieve in the sport, because that's the ultimate goal for any player. If you set yourself a goal to be getting end the season in the average of 55, then you have to put the work in to be the average 55 player. So we look forward to the round 4 of the league season, both First Division and Premier Division. But actually, let's get a look at the top performers of the past weekend in cricket.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
You're going to say the same names that we've been saying for the last 4 weeks, but go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
Whose names are they?
Go ahead. Who's the winners?
Dominic Mayo won.
Keep going.
Ashley Estonic won.
Keep going.
Matthew Oliveira won.
Keep going. Last one.
Alyssa Rouse.
Ah.
Yes.
I think I've heard those names over the last few weeks.
Those were the division winners of the Bermuda Bicycle Association's Time Trial Championships held on Sunday at Southside. But it was a surprise. Tyler Butterfield finished third. Not second, third.
When I did see his name there, I said, well, he must be doing some Papa Wheelies.
No. Actually, I think a bit of the heat played a part in it. He got caught up in some traffic as well. But it's a race and it's a time trial, so you have to go out. It was very exciting because they used a short course, a lot of loops, but just to see the form that Dominique Mayo is in, having returned from Belgium, looking fit, looking fast, and his test would have been that psychological test of trying to match Tyler Butterfield. If it's a road race, it's a different tactic because you're all together. But as a time trial, what you try to do is, okay, the first time I see the person, if I go, say 10 minutes after you, the first time I see you, I in my head start to count the next time and I want to make sure every time I see you, I'm getting closer to your time, closer to your time, closer to, and that's how you measure your distance and so forth. So let's get the report from Southside with those 4 that we named that Jay has heard those names for quite some time. Jay, on Saturday, Bermuda were due to play USA South in a North American Iran rugby match. Unfortunately, Bermuda withdrew. It's a rugby association of NACA. They call it, it's RAN, North American Rugby Football Unions around the Caribbean and America.
Wow, cool. I just never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, we were due to play on Saturday. That would have been the 3rd game we played. Obviously, we lost 59-7 to Mexico, lost to Cayman Islands. But unfortunately, due to an injury and, as I was told, the America's Cup, Bermuda were unable to field a team. Got a chance to speak with the president who brought us up to speed on just the scenarios around Bermuda's canceled match with USA South. President of the Bermuda Rugby Union Federation, Sean Fielderman. Word reaching me today is that, or this morning, is that Bermuda will not take on USA South. Can you enlighten us on the situation regarding Bermuda's match that was supposed to take place on Saturday?
Yeah, I can confirm that the game has been cancelled. Unfortunately, due to a player not being available due to injury and America's Cup duties, we're not able to field a competitive side. Obviously, we had to go down with 23 players, and with the injuries and unavailability due to America's Cup, we were down to around 14 players. And as such, a decision was made by the executive to regrettably withdraw Bermuda from the game. It was a dead rubber, so there was not much riding on the game. But we like to fulfill our responsibilities and obligations to Rugby America North. But unfortunately, despite the best efforts of the coach and management, we just could not pull a team together, and we've pulled out.
Where does this leave us? Because we had already lost 2 matches. So are we now going to another division, or what does that do for us?
Well, first things first, I think RAN are trying to see if we can maybe rearrange the game, more of a friendly game, and if that can be done, we will have a look at rescheduling. If not, obviously we will be deducted the points and may possibly face a fine. RAN will have to determine what will happen with the person who comes bottom of the division, and that more than likely will be us. Unfortunately, if we played against USA South and beat them, they may have been the bottom, but it looks like it'll be us. And at that stage, a decision has to be made whether or not they will drop us down a league to play the likes of Bahamas and Turks and Caicos like we did the year before. Personally, I think where the national team program is, that's not a undesirable outcome for us. The national team is in transition. We have a lot of great servants of the game coming to the end of their careers, and we're waiting for the younger generation of players to come through. And I think it'll be a daunting task for some of these players to take on the likes of Caymans and Mexico in particular, and the USA South, who have a vastly larger pool of players. I'm not happy, but I'm not overly upset that we're going to, if possible, go down to a division. I think for the development of the game on the island, that'll be good.
The qualifications to represent Bermuda in rugby in this particular event, what are the circumstances and what are the qualifications for people?
Well, right now we still operate under the World Rugby 3-year eligibility rule. So if you live on the island, you're eligible for 3 years. You're eligible, and obviously if you're Bermudian or deemed to be Bermudian, you can play. So we had several players from overseas that are deemed to be Bermudian. Brendan Toms comes to mind. Young Cook comes to mind. And they're overseas-based Bermudians who came on the island and posted our national team. So the national team program is in transition. We have a lot of elderly players sort of announcing their retirement or phasing themselves into the coaching support role. And so we're looking for the under-19s to transition to the senior program.
Now, Jay, the name Adam Hole is now ringing through the ears of many Bermudians. We've been talking about Adam Hole for quite some time. He was drafted by the Baltimore Orioles
in the first round.
Got a chance to speak with him. Let's get that interview with young Adam Hole, who's now a Baltimore Oriole. Well, Adam Hole, first of all, congratulations on being drafted by the Baltimore Orioles. 60th pick overall. Were you surprised it's going as high as you did?
I wouldn't say I was overly surprised about it just because of the conversations I'd had with teams before the draft. I was still pretty excited when it happened, but I definitely didn't think it wasn't possible.
You have been on the radar of some of these teams for quite some time now. You still had committed or have commitments to Texas A&M University. Take us through the last, I would say, 4 years of your life, because it's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Well, I started playing for the Great Lakes Canadians 4 years ago. And then I've been playing 18U ever since I was 14, so that's been pretty great for exposure on that side of things. In my grade 10 year, I made the Canadian junior national team, and I also committed to Texas A&M that year. And then throughout my grade 10 and 11 years, I played with the Canadian junior national team, playing some minor league teams down in Florida, traveling to Australia, Japan, Cuba, Dominican. So I'm pretty fortunate to be able to travel all over through that.
Obviously, gaining that international exposure because of the different types of competition you'll play against. Which one would you say was the biggest challenge for you?
I think traveling to the Dominican has probably been the biggest challenge and eye-opener for me, mainly just because of the sheer number of people that play baseball there and the amount of talent they're able to produce there, despite their living conditions. I mean, that was pretty surprising for me to see what those kids there have to live in, and they're still, that country's a huge powerhouse for baseball. So the fact that they're able to do that despite their challenges is pretty amazing to me.
Now, Tuesday night, draft night, or was it Monday night? The night of the draft, were you able to sleep?
Yeah, I actually managed to get to sleep. I mean, at that point, I was pretty worn out just thinking about the draft, going to workouts before, so I was able to get some sleep.
What's next immediately for you?
Well, right now we're just waiting for them to get my visa approved. And so once they get that done and once I'm able to sign a professional contract, hopefully I'll be able to get down to Sarasota, Florida as quickly as possible and get into the minor league training camp.
Are you foregoing your college career right now?
Yeah, if I sign or when I sign the pro contract, I'll have to forfeit that, yeah.
Well, remembering back, I'm going to take you back now. Remembering back to the days of the YO Ballpark in Bermuda, you always would have dreamed of playing professional baseball, even being drafted by a professional. But that's a reality. Is it a dream come true?
I'd say it's partially a dream come true. I mean, I'm not done yet. This is just the start of the next step, which is being able to make the MLB.
Well, Jay, a young man who's really now got to grow up rather fast.
Very quickly, but war behind you, bro.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, I think that's a great way to end the Digicel Sports Show. I know you're still licking your wounds.
I made it.
Well, from me, Earl Baston, and
Ty from Carnival J.
Have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show.